Welcome to the Intrazone, Roadmap Pit Stop November 2023 edition. This is a bonus monthly show that answers that burning question in your mind. What's rolling out now for SharePoint and related technology in Microsoft 365? I'm Mark Cashman, Senior Product Manager at Microsoft, here to help set the ongoing record straight. This month we hear from Jeff Teper live from the Microsoft Ignite stage, talking about SharePoint Premium, the big announcement for SharePoint during the event, plus a few other SharePointy things. Beyond some additional Ignite news that I want to share, we will, of course, focus on everything that landed this month into Microsoft 365 for your intelligent intranet. I will also include, as always, a few related items, plus the always fun teasers looking into next month. This episode is your 30-minute method to stay ahead of the ever-curving Microsoft 365 roadmap, which means it is now time to kick back and get informed about all the tech that rolled out in November 2023. We start at the top with employee engagement. When you want to send that message out to a lot of people, maybe in a lot of different ways and maybe in a lot of different formats, which is where we're going to start with our first item, Stream, talking about videos. These videos, stream videos, can now be recorded in and watched in Outlook. Specifically, that means in Outlook on the web and the new Outlook for Windows. When someone pastes a stream video link in a supported Outlook app and sends it to you, you will now be able to watch it directly in your inbox. Click play, don't leave email, stay in the context of where you're at. One note, recipients outside of your org or people that aren't using the new Outlook for Web will see a link to the video, which will then open up the Stream web app, which of course then depends on your organization's file sharing experiences, either dependent on the type of Outlook or, of course, the access to the file. They may be able to watch it in Stream as a guest. If you have guest sharing turned off, of course, they won't be able to share it, but they will at least see the link. But for those, the best experience is to watch an inline video play in email. We also are introducing the ability to record and insert stream video recordings in Outlook. You'll be able to record a video of yourself, your screen, or both directly from Outlook and insert the recording in your email, again with the same inline playback experience. The goal is to give you the capabilities to create, share, and know that your videos will have the greatest reach and impact, especially with the higher viewing rates seen when people view content within the email itself, not losing your recipient's focus or context out into another app. Keep them focused, especially when watching something as engaging as a video. It's a really great experience to see a video playing, especially one that you create right in Outlook, to have the experience in Outlook throughout. Sticking with Stream and layering in some integration goodness with Teams, Loop, and just a little bit more, Microsoft Stream now supports collaborative notes in Teams meeting recordings. You'll be able to view and edit collaborative meeting notes while watching Teams meeting recordings in Stream. Collaborative notes allow meeting attendees to co-create and collaborate on your meeting agenda, notes, and action items. And since collaborative notes are a Loop component, it's always in sync regardless of how many places that they live in or you access them from. So assigned tasks also come alive in collaborative meeting notes, and those automatically sync to To-Do and Planner. So we've got great integration with Stream, with Teams, with Loop, and especially if you assign a task within a Loop component, those flow through and sync out to your Tasks app, primarily To-Do and Planner. The goal is seamless note-taking and ease of use and sharing, no matter the entry point of each individual person. Our last item for employee engagement is the announcement that Microsoft 365 Archive is now in public preview. You'll be able to start to review what it is that it can do for you, basically focused on saving you costs of storage exceeding the quota limit by archiving inactive sites in SharePoint. The feature is a part of the pay-as-you-go feature in Microsoft Syntex and can be enabled through the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. A note here is SharePoint admins and global admins can choose inactive sites from within the SharePoint Admin Center, or if preferred, via PowerShell, and archive them. When archived, the storage occupied by the site is deducted from active storage, and it will then be charged as a part of the archive storage, which is charged based on consumption. If a site is archived, the content in the site cannot be accessed without IT assistance to reactivate the site. So it's always there, it's just not as active from a use perspective, but it is certainly easy to reactivate and use it should you need anything that has been archived. So it's a great time. It's now in public preview, more available for people to try out Microsoft 365 Archive. As we transition from employee engagement to teamwork, let's take a moment and hear from Jeff Teper announcing SharePoint Premium during his Ignite 2023 breakout session.
Now that we've laid the foundation with an even simpler and more flexible experience for files and pages, let's talk about what we're doing next with Content AI. Last year at this event, we talked about the first set of services that we were introducing to connect to SharePoint to leverage AI. And we did that under the brand of Microsoft Syntex. And we've had great adoption of Syntex over the last year. We've released some services, some are still in preview that people are trying out. We've gotten great feedback. But I love my colleague Jared Spataro's comments yesterday about Copilot. Occasionally, we have a great experience, but maybe we could go back and streamline the branding a little bit. And so people love the concept. They weren't sure about the connections between Syntex and SharePoint. So we decided to simplify all that and rename Syntex to SharePoint Premium. SharePoint, the base content management collaboration platform from Microsoft 365. SharePoint Premium, a value-added set of services on top. And they're going to come in three categories. First, experiences that are enriched by AI and other capabilities for using your content in high-value experiences for your organization. Second, we're going to apply AI to workflows and processes in bulk to help transform and enrich that content for greater consistency, workflow automation, less drudgery and manual tagging and things like that, that we think is going to save people a bunch of time and money. And then third, governance capabilities, advanced controls of your content, addressing some of the top feedback and questions we've got over the base capabilities we already offer today. Combined, they're going to make SharePoint Premium the best way to manage, ground, and leverage content for AI in the era of copilots.
All right, you are starting to get a little bit more informed about what is SharePoint Premium. Like Teams and Teams Premium, there's now SharePoint and SharePoint Premium, this bringing a lot of value and capability when managing content at scale across your organization. I will have a link in the blog that points to the full breakout session so you can see all the things that Jeff and the other co-presenters presented during Ignite. Okay, Jeff kicked us off with some SharePoint Premium to come. And for now, this month, let's get back to the SharePoint core that is happening now. That moves us into Teamwork. And the first item that we have is SharePoint out-of-the-box document library templates. This is a big one. And what's really nice is it follows the same patterns that we've been establishing when we talk about templates in Microsoft 365. Like site templates and list templates, we are bringing the goodness of templates to SharePoint document libraries. Creating document libraries will now be a breeze with our ready-made templates with scenario-relevant structure, metadata, and content types, all to save you time and maintain broader consistency across your content management organization. We are now rolling out a brand new document library creation experience that will be available in 2 locations. So if you want to try this, go to SharePoint Home, click New and Document Library, or on a SharePoint site, go to Site Contents, New Document Library. With this new experience, you will be able to create document libraries in different ways. You can start with a blank library. You can start a library from an existing library. You can choose from the templates that we've established that give you that predetermined structure, which of course you then can continue to configure for yourself. And there are some templates that are available with flows packaged right in the out-of-box templates. So give it a try today, and also note that you can disable the out-of-box templates by running a PowerShell command, as you've been able to do with any template. You choose what templates appear. The value is, if you make the templates available, whether there are out-of-box ones or your own custom templates, it is going to save you time, or it will save your employees a ton of time, especially when you want to adhere to a greater governance plan. Now you can put that into a document library structure. Next is the offline mode in OneDrive for web. Soon on Windows and Mac OS devices running the OneDrive Sync app, you'll be able to take advantage of a new feature called Offline Mode that will allow you to continue working with the OneDrive web app in your browser, OneDrive Progressive Web App, or Microsoft Teams, even when you're offline. It means you can get to the content, but also the experience of OneDrive in its full entirety as you have experienced it on the web. That also comes offline with you, so you can do robust things. This feature will be on by default, and it gives you the ability to view, rename, move and copy files, and create new folders when offline. The files in the browser will be automatically synced back to OneDrive when the internet connection is restored, and of course to resolve conflicts if there are any. And for administrators, you will be able to control various aspects of offline mode using group policies. So I have a lot of material that I'll link to. There's a new help article. There's an article that goes through the admin controls, and of course, a broader article that shows the value of what it is that you can do, and hopefully the value to your end users. Keeping with OneDrive, you can now add individual file shortcuts in OneDrive Web. This is the Add to OneDrive notion getting more granular. You'll be able to see Add Shortcut in the command bar when you're in the context of a file, and this will be available across all of the OneDrive file lists like Home, My Files, Shared, Favorites, and more. And it will also be available for SharePoint document libraries and within Teams Files tabs. When a user selects a file and clicks Add Shortcut, they will see two options for where to add a shortcut to: My Files and Other Locations. If you select My Files, a .url file will be created within your My Files lists in your OneDrive. If you select Other Location, there will be a file picker that you'll see that will launch so that you can choose the location of where you want to put that file shortcut within your OneDrive, as well as a shared document library that you have access to. Remember, it's just a shortcut. The file itself stays where you originally came across it or it was shared to you from, but you want to keep a little bit closer tabs on it, or just make it easier for you to get back to across your devices. Like Add to OneDrive, you can now add a shortcut to an individual file. Next, big one. I think this is a big one from when I've heard a lot of feedback around when we introduced loop components in chats. Now loop components in channels and loop embed mode in Teams is coming. So first, loop in channels. Collaborative loop components that you love from Teams chats are coming to channels. And I'm so happy to say that rollout has begun. You can create, share, and edit components to collaborate synchronously and asynchronously on ideas without leaving the context of your conversations. You can now copy and paste loop components between channels, chats, Outlook emails, and other supported Microsoft 365 apps. And loop components that are created in Teams channels are stored in the channel's SharePoint site, which gives you the ability to access that component right alongside all of your other SharePoint content, meaning they're also shared with the team automatically. If a content is created and sent within the channel, you can access it within the Files tab. Note, if your organization has previously disabled loop components, of course those settings will be honored, but we hope we give you that one extra bit of something to consider to turn Loop on because now Loop is available in a more managed and governable zone in the context of how you manage your SharePoint and your Teams workspaces. So Loop, of course, will abide by the governance plan that you have in place no matter, but especially if you've been waiting for them to be more in shared spaces versus individual spaces, well, that time has come. Staying with Loop for our last teamwork item, you can now create new Loop components in Microsoft Word. That's what happens when a flexible content type meets a flexible content canvas. You can now create live Loop components starting with task lists, tables, voting tables, progress trackers, and checklists that now can be added and used within Whiteboard for the web, Whiteboard app in Teams, and Whiteboard for Windows. It's a Loopified whiteboard, one that is more collaborative, a collaborative whiteboard. Try this one. I tell you, you will get a feel for it. You'll see what's possible and how it works, and you truly will see your whiteboard and your canvassing come alive, especially during your next team brainstorming session. I think you're going to like this one. All right, let us move to related technology. Beyond the availability of new Teams, Microsoft announced the general availability of new Teams on web for Edge and Chrome. Our goal for the new Teams web app is to bring a near identical experience to our new Teams desktop app. Both the new Teams web client and desktop clients share the same underlying infrastructure built to improve load times, improve channel and chat switches, and reduce memory usage. Note, we'll keep you up to date as this update rolls out to more tenant types. Notably, as of the past month, this Teams web update is not yet available for education customers. So hold off on that, but it is certainly something that we have started to roll out, the breadth of where you can access and how you use the Teams client or the Teams web experience. There's a great support article and some things that you can read to get up to speed, certainly to prepare for how you tackle incorporating this in a use case perspective that works for you. Sticking with Teams and bridging into a OneDrive in Teams experience update, it's really exciting to see that the Files app is being updated to OneDrive app experience in Teams. This means the File app on the left side of the Teams desktop client will be updated with the new OneDrive app experience, bringing performance improvements, more views, and the latest features of OneDrive to both classic and new Teams. All existing features of the Files app will also be available via this new OneDrive app experience. As part of this change, the Files app on the left side of the new Teams desktop client will become the OneDrive app. You'll actually see the OneDrive name on the left-hand side instead of Files. However, at this time, there is no change in the name of the Files app in either classic Teams desktop or Teams mobile. But absolutely, we want you to have a OneDrive consistent experience for your files, no matter where you access them from, both the capabilities, but also just the name and the branding. When you see OneDrive, you want to have that knowledge that, hey, this is a great place for me to manage and work with my files, and I already know it. It just happens to be here in Teams. Let us end this related technology section with two FYI items. FYI number one, we are delighted to share that as of November 15th, Power Virtual Agents capabilities are now a part of Microsoft's new product, the one that I think got the most up-leveled surprise news from Ignite, the Microsoft Copilot Studio. This is Microsoft's conversational AI platform so that you can customize Microsoft Copilot and to build your own custom copilots. And as a result, as to be expected sometimes with Microsoft, as brands and names and things evolve, so too do the brands of names that you know, which is, in this case, Power Virtual Agents will no longer be used. You will just see the capability within the Microsoft Copilot Studio. There's a great article about Microsoft Copilot Studio all up, and it has some of the details about what to expect with this change from Power Virtual Agents to being a capability within the new Copilot Studio. FYI number two. The app name changes for Microsoft Project for the web, Project Teams tab, and Project Power App are all being changed to be a more simple name, Planner parentheses Project. We're in the midst of the name change all up. There were big announcements around Planner and the new Planner app that's coming to Microsoft Teams in early 2024. So this is a bit of an interim FYI, but bear with me here so that you are informed. The new Planner app will bring together your to-dos, plans, and projects into a single unified experience, which is simple, flexible, scalable, and intelligent. But again, here is the so you're informed part. Microsoft is updating the app names for Project for the Web, Projects Teams tab, and Project Power App to Planner parentheses Project. All the existing functionality across these apps will remain the same, and we are updating the app name for the Tasks by Planner and To-Do app in Microsoft Teams to simply Planner. All existing app functionality, again, will remain the same. You can find out a lot more in their announcement blog at aka.ms/thenewplanner. So the FYIs are mostly that you will see some name changes if you've been interacting with Planner and To-Do and whatnot across these different applications, knowing that we're trying to simplify and unify to the new Planner. Last, before we get to the near-term teasers, let's dip into some Ignite news for some exciting long-term teasers. Here are 5 top Ignite highlights through the lens of the Intrazone and yours truly. Now, I encourage you to review the full Ignite 2023 book of news that's like a map of all the news and announcements with pointers to depth articles awaiting your perusal. So here are the 5 announcements that I saw that are either closely related to this here SharePoint world or simply surfaced a little higher in the tech zeitgeist on that big day of November 15th, 2023, aka Ignite 2023 Day 1. The first item, this is a throwback to early in the episode where Jeff announced SharePoint Premium. This is Microsoft's new AI-powered solution that will help you transform your content management, your content experiences, and get content ready for Microsoft Copilot. It's a set of tools that help people achieve more using AI and is now in preview and will be generally available early next year. And there's a ton of content that was released. There was an announcement blog specifically about SharePoint Premium. There was Jeff's breakout session. You heard a clip from it. Now the full session is on demand. There's a new Adoption Center page and more. We will go deeper on a future episode of the Intrazone for sure to get in all the details of SharePoint Premium. But for now, there is a lot of what is it type resources that you can digest. That is item number 1. Item number 2, Microsoft Loop is now generally available. That is right. The Microsoft Loop app is now generally available for the web and mobile, iOS and Android, for commercial customers. The Loop mobile app, iOS and Android, is generally available for consumer customers as well. Full functionality is available to business customers as part of their Microsoft 365 E3, E5, Business Standard, and Business Premium licenses. Congratulations to the Microsoft Loop team, and congratulations to you if you're using Loop. It is a great new app, and it's a great milestone in terms of full functionality and, of course, supportability within your production space. Item number 3, coming out of Ignite, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 is your AI assistant at work. It automatically inherits an organization's security, compliance, and privacy policies for Microsoft 365. Your data is managed in line with Microsoft's current commitments. It's integrated into the Microsoft 365 apps that millions of people use every day: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and more. Plus, there's a Microsoft Copilot dashboard that's powered by Microsoft Viva that will help leaders answer how Copilot is affecting their organization and changing the way people work. Not only on November 1st did we release Microsoft Copilot into general availability, but it also got a new name. Instead of Microsoft 365 Copilot, it's now Copilot for Microsoft 365. Which leads us into item number 4, one that we kind of already talked about, but I'm going to bubble up here again because it just got a lot of traction with a lot of developers out in the world. That is Microsoft Copilot Studio. This is an end-to-end conversational AI platform that empowers everyone, especially developers, to create and customize copilots using natural language or graphical interface. There is a great new blog about the Copilot Studio. There's a lot of videos in how to use it and what is it, and it's item number 4 on our Ignite highlights. Item number 5, this comes about the Azure infrastructure. It's one I know almost nothing about, but it was fascinating to watch Satya announce and show this new chip. It's Microsoft Azure Maya. This is an AI accelerator chip that's designed to run cloud-based training and inferencing for AI workloads such as OpenAI models, Bing, GitHub Copilot, and ChatGPT. So it is going to be powering a lot of this new technology, and it was really cool to see it broken down and visually to even see that big of a chip doing whatever it's doing. It's pretty amazing. So Microsoft Azure Maya was item number 5. But wait, I've got a bonus one for you, and it's kind of what I was already talking about, but it was pretty big news for a team that's very close to the SharePoint heart. That is, Microsoft is bringing together Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Planner, and Microsoft Project for the web into a single unified experience called Microsoft Planner. This experience will first be available in the Planner app in Microsoft Teams in spring 2024, followed by web experiences later in 2024. Powerful, collaborative, scalable, and assisted by next-generation AI, the new Planner will help everyone. It will help you. It will help me. It will help them and us effectively manage our work and achieve our goals. It's a big announcement for that team, and they really did a nice job outlining the plan to get there, and then once there, what is the plan for Planner? All right, let us move away from the long-term teasers back to the near-term teasers. It's time to move to the near future, one that predicts with high certainty. Let us focus on the future features currently sashaying their way to the targeted release starting line. Here are 2 teasers for what's coming in December 2023. Teaser number 1, OneDrive Open in App. You will have a much more connected file opening experience beyond Office file types for all types of files. Teaser number 2, within Microsoft Stream, add a survey, add a poll, or a quiz to a video at specific times. This is great for training and learning type videos where you want to gather information or reaffirm the learning. That's it with this month's Peek Ahead. We'll share more details and other updates within the SharePoint Roadmap Pit Stop December 2023 edition next month. We've added Learn links all over the place so that you can go into depth about whatever it is that caught your fancy, plus a list of important resources in the show notes and in the corresponding blog post on the Microsoft Tech community published to the SharePoint community blog. I hope you've enjoyed this roadmap pit stop. It is now time to pump your brakes, relax, and know that you are all caught up. However, if anything still leaves you scratching your head with open questions or concerns, please send us your thoughts and comments to theintrozone@microsoft.com. We're here to put our and your change management foot forward. Thank you for taking that step with us into the cloud month after month. This is Mark Cashman saying, nice to have Ignite in the rearview mirror on the roadmap ahead.